Duane Stephenson. Duane, how are you doing?
Blessed love, man. I'm good, man. Just listening to the vibe, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we give thanks. We give thanks. Wow, wow. So how has it been like, for you, all this while in terms of the business? How has it been like?
It's been good, I mean, the business is constantly changing, Sometimes it's up, sometimes it's down, but I'm very grateful to be a part of it because not many people, get this far. So the fact that I still have a career after all these years and still going new places and people still enjoying the vibe, still making music, I consider myself highly grateful. For people like you playing the tunes so people can really tune in and think. And as I say, there are many places that I'm still yet to go, and one of the places that's high on the agenda, of course, is Ghana.
Wow. Wow. I got the info, and the last time I spoke to you, you were telling me that, Lagazee, a lot of promoters are linking me up from Ghana and all that. How has it been like in terms of promoters linking you up from the motherland, Ghana, asking you to come over for performance and all that? How has the deal been like?
We had a few opportunities, but they fell short the last minute. Things weren't right, and it makes no sense waiting all these years to come true, because some of my most loyal fans are from Ghana. The Ghanaians have been supporting me since day one up until now, throughout Europe, throughout South America, throughout United States. They've been to the shows. They've been, very supportive. Recently, I was up in Seattle, and half the crowd were Ghanaians.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So the idea of coming there under questionable circumstances is, it's not something that I'm willing to jump. I think people deserve better. I think they deserve the best of me without distractions when I come there to do a show for the people.
Wow. Wow.
Easy.
So Ghana, we're live with Duane Stephenson. Duane, where exactly are you now?
Well, right now I'm in Kingston, Jamaica,
And how is the vibe like in Kingston?
Listen, it's always an active and moving place, It's kind of like Accra, constantly moving. The wheels are always turning, the hustle and bustle in the streets, but vibrant because of the music and the culture and the people.
All right. So, a lot of Jamaicans, I have spoken to, most of the time, when you talk to them, it looks like everybody's Kingstonian. Anybody you talk to?
No, not everybody, but a lot of people. But the thing is, Kingston is the capital, and it's tied in with the parish of St. Andrew. So it's Kingston and St. Andrew.
Okay.
So while Kingston is a lot of industrial areas directly, because it's Kingston and St. Andrew is like dual parishes, then most people live in the St. Andrew area.
All right.
To be truthful, and most of the concentration, that's the biggest, the most populous place then in Jamaica. Secondly, with Montego Bay, but Montego Bay would drop off by a bit.
Easy.
No, plus, he's a man of music.
Definitely.
And most of the music happens in Kingston, especially reggae music, Right now, there's a bit of dancehall coming out of Montego Bay. So dancehall has a hotspot in Montego Bay. But in terms of use a man, listen to a lot of roots, support a lot of roots. So that would be mostly Kingston and St. Andrew.
All right. So a man just signal me and say, yo, Lagazee, we don't say Montego Bay, but we say Giatigo Bay. All right? It's good for you, though.
Easy.
All right, so all the fans them in Giatigo Bay, big up yourself, man. Yeah, man. So we're live on Facebook on Asaase 99.5. Please, if you have any question, and you can type in your question, and I'm going to read it out for Duane Stephenson. You know what I mean? And we're also live on 99.5 in Accra, 98.5 in Kumasi, 100.3 in Cape Coast, and 99.7 in the northern region.
Zing, Asaase Radio. Easy.
And all the way from Kingston, Jamaica via Zoom, we have Duane Stephenson over here. And We're talking to him about his career and how he began and all that. So, Duane,
Yes, sir.
in terms of the music now, how did the whole journey start with you?
I've always been around music, to tell you the truth. My uncle was a part of a band called Rhythm Kings Band that used to be the touring band for Gregory Isaac throughout those years. So I'm ending up at the rehearsals, and they used to locally they back a lot of artists and a lot of these shows back because back then backing bands were a major thing,
Mhm.
you know. So I was around at that point with my uncle. I never really got serious about anything musical until I was about 16 years old when I actually became a part of a theater performing arts group called the Catalina Players, which is a group that consists of kids from like 6 to 18
Mhm.
at the time. So I started exploring, music itself. That's where I learned that all those Mariah Carey songs that I think that I used to sing so well, that's where I learned that I wasn't actually singing it.
Mhm.
So I
Mhm.
learned a lot from the theater, and that's where I think music became something else to me. Of course, the theater to me wasn't the ultimate because after passing 18 and existing beyond the Catholic players, I did 2 theater production before I realized that I must continue on this journey because I've always wanted to be like the Peter Tosh of my generation with background singers and the roots and the extremism.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So, but after that, I became a part of a group with some brethren that I make called Twice. Did that for about 8 years. We used to do a lot of cover tunes
Mhm.
but as people grow musically, because we all started when we were around the same age, so, like between 16 to 18. Um, people just wanted different things in music. Some people wanted a little bit more dancehall, some people wanted to explore R&B. I personally was a roots man.
Mhm.
So of course, I linked up with Dean Fraser after that, and we embarked. I embarked on a whole new career he got me into writing for other people, and also putting together my own album, my own roots album, which was August Stone. And the rest is as they say is history. You know what I mean? But the journey was long. Sometimes it's rough, but I learned a lot along the way, and I'm grateful for all that happened that got me here.
All right. So, there is this thing about a lot of groups. I don't know why maybe 2 3 people or friends come together as one to do one thing, and within a couple of years they have a lot of differences and they have to split. You know, at the word go, why is it that if we know we're separate, then we shouldn't even start the whole movement? You know what I mean?
Oh
But
no, man, listen.
mhm,
If the music don't go like that, then the people will be robbed of great things.
mhm,
Because the truth is, the biggest part of the problem that developed over the years is growth.
yeah,
And everybody has to grow.
mhm,
So as you go along, when you start out and you're young and everything, it's all exciting, it's good, and it's great for the people. But
mhm,
then, a time come when individualism start to take over because of the growth, and the love and the passion that you have, you know, in 90% of the times going in different directions. And
mhm,
it's happened with the greatest of them, from the Jackson 5 to the Commodores
mhm,
to even the Bee Gees, the Beatles. Well, not the Bee Gees because they were brothers, so they kind of held it up. But even they had a stint where they were doing their own thing. So the world would be robbed of great music, great performances if this wasn't the case where a lot of people choose to come together
mhm.
because it's the individualism in the group that makes it as great as it is. But eventually, you have to move and to explore of more of that um, individualism. You understand? And
Okay.
that, in its sense, becomes something different. It morphs into something different. So that's where you have the John Lennon, and then you have the Paul McCartney, you have the Michael Jackson. Because if it never went that way, then we'd have lost out on the great groups and also the great individuals.
A man said to me the other day that Lagazee, talking about groups, it kind of look very, nice from the beginning until you start paying bills. When you start paying bills, that is where that is where the whole things start from, because if you are paying bills and the next man is not paying bills, your thinking is different from that person. So maybe the direction in which you want the group to go, the next man will be seeing it as no. But at the end of the day, you are paying bills, so you understand life on a level than the other one. So I understand you perfectly in terms of
that is true also, but that is true also. That is that will be a consideration for a lot of groups. But think about it. Some of the groups that eventually separated, they never had a bills problem because these guys were multi-millionaires. Remember that band, Hootie and the Blowfish, and their thing is that after the first album came out and it sold 22 million, they made a second album. The album only sold, only to them, only 7 million copies. And that was considered failure between the band members and the record company. And they decided that, you know what, we can't top the first album. So the best thing to do is just go our separate ways and try something new. They have all this money and they still have the musical passion, but they didn't want to complicate the musical passion with finance between themselves and also the record company. So they went their separate ways.
Okay. All right. So, Duane, was sound system part of your career?
So, of course, this is Jamaica, man. Even though when you go to a lot of the rural areas and stuff, they're still in the sound system kind of vibe, because, of course, a lot of them can't afford PA system or whatever. But as an artist, you have to afford yourself to go there and to still sing for these people. You know what I mean? That's why a lot of artists, we still do a bit of track show, even though our preferred thing is to do a band show. Because with certain markets band is definitely the best way to go. But we go to small territories that will get just not enough people there to support a band show. Sometimes the finance in the country, because that's also a consideration. People can't really afford that sort of stuff. But you have to make yourself available to, perform for these people because they still show love for the music, they're still supporting, and they would love to see you just as much as all the people in the bigger markets that can accommodate stuff like that. So, of course, sound system will always be a part of our culture.
So, which of the sound systems were you associated with?
Well, the truth is, I born and grew up around Silverhawk sound.
Silver.
Yeah. Silverhawk was the original Augustown sound, and aside from that, the dancehall that was there, that homegrown, was literally right across the road from where I grew up. And because of that, I know a lot of music that back then that kids weren't privy to. So if you didn't live around or across the road from the sound system, you wouldn't know those songs because them things don't play on the radio. It's big people things, So I grew up around Silverhawk, but when Silverhawk kind of pulled out of the business for a while, because I know they're trying to reboot just to give people a different kind of energy here in Jamaica. Then I started tuning in with Stone Love.
Saying.
Easy.
Yeah, man.
Saying. So let's talk about Silverhawk now. You growing up around Silverhawk. How was the vibe like, with Richie Poo and all the man them on Silverhawk?
Oh no, man. Listen, I mean, there were all of those people who were older guys to me, but it's my uncle bridging them. So even when the dance them done, a lot of time it ended up on my veranda. Much to the dismay of my grandaunt, because she didn't like the congregation, but it happened regardless because we were so close. Balsy and them, you pretty much grew up around his mom also. We used to, always be by their yard because it was a close-knit community, We used to trot over to Goldsmith Villa to go check Steely, who was the boss at the time. Steely never even ventured into producing it those days. He was still playing at the background, playing for one of the bands, the local bands here, you know what I mean? So definitely, I learned a lot musically around those people. Of course, I was one of the people who tuned in to the whole scene and knew what was hot from what was not,
All right, so I would like to know this. Singing on a sound system, like they play the rhythm for you to sing, and then from what we heard from Africa, is that before you go into the studio to record, a lot of the songs get bossed in the dance before you even go into the studio to record it, right? So being on
that was the case. That was definitely the case back in the days. Back in the days when it was hot on the sound system, then they recorded it because a lot of the dancehall artists they didn't record the songs first. You know, it was actually in I mean, reggae is a little bit different. You know, but in terms of the original form of dancehall, like Super Cat and the Ninja and Shabba and them guys, it was big on sound system before because they perform it live on the sound system, bust the place and thing. And that's when a lot of producers now decide to come in. That's why you found that most of the original producers in dancehall were sound system operators.
Definitely.
Jammins, it was Steely and Clevie, it was Tubbies, all of those guys were sound system operators.
Definitely. So I was going to ask you that in your case, how did that happen? Were your songs popular on the sound system before? Maybe you going solo from Twice now. Were your songs then popular on sound system before it was recorded, or you step into the studio to record them straight?
We stepped into the studio first because initially when we just started Twice for the first 2 years, we're doing all cover songs, you know, and then we had the opportunity to record a song with Dean. We had an audition with him, and of course, you know, he brought us in. We sang a couple of the songs that we had practiced. Not much of those songs were written by me, you know, other guys, because of course everybody wanted to sing a little bit more R&B. He listened through the whole thing, and then he decided that, you know, so I don't have anything kind of roots. And of course, none of those guys had anything. I said, well, I had a little song that, you know, I wrote personally, but, you know, back then most of the other guys in the group thought that them things were old people songs, you know, because it's them things I listen to.
See,
you know, so when I went in, and that's why I was the only singer and that song, even in its original state. In Twice, I was the only lead because nobody else knew the song. I went in and I said, what? Then I started singing, from day to day we live, searching for our identity, while the rich man says we're a menace to society. They don't know what it's like, what it's really like. What it's really like to feel real good to feel. And then by that time, of course, I'm saying, hold on, but then, you know, I heard drum beats coming because the original drum wasn't live. It was done by Paul Castic and the machine. You know, and people like Birch, a young Christopher Birch, who, of course, went on to be famous with Shaggy and one of the main producers on Hot Shacks. He was there also as a young man just coming from Montego Bay, getting into the scene also. And of course, there was Mikey Fletcher, fresh from England, moving back to Jamaica, you know, as a young youth himself. So, you know, there was a lot of firsts for many of us there. And of course, when we went there, Taurus Riley just recorded his first single, you know, for Challenges, was a tune called Larger Than Life, which to me, is still one of Taurus Riley's most impressive songs, you know what I mean?
See.
That's to me. Don't perform it live as much as I would like. If the post about it, but you know. So it was a lot of firsts for many of us, you know. But I guess that's just how the book was supposed to have been written.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, exactly 21 minutes going into the hour 2 here on Asaase Radio.
Easy.
Before I step in, I have Empress Debbie also seated, you know, over here, and she's got some questions for Duane. Empress Debbie.
Yeah.
All right.
Blessings, Mr. Stephenson.
Blessing, love, man.
How are you doing?
I'm good. You know, I'm grateful to be here with you all.
Same here. Thanks for blessing us. So I would like to ask you a few questions, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
Okay, sure. So what do you think about reggae in Ghana and Africa as a whole? You know, with emerging acts on the block every day and already existing reggae musicians like Stonebwoy and Shatawali, do you think we are going somewhere with reggae music in Ghana?
In major places with reggae music in Africa, you know, but it had to have been that way because I haven't been to Ghana yet, but I've been to Kenya, which has the same kind of vibe going on. And let me tell you this. Okay. About 70% of what they listen to on FM radio is reggae music. So
Okay.
if nothing came out of that, then it would be very, very unfortunate. So when we hear these new and fresh sounds, because people will take their own experiences, their own culture, um, into the music, their own vibe. The drums might be a little bit, the guitar might swing a little bit differently, but it has to be that way in order
Okay.
to keep this music growing. Because if it didn't rub off on a lot of Africans, Ghanaians, and Kenyans, especially, I say that because these are two of the places that listen to a whole lot of reggae music, then it would
Okay.
mean that the people wasn't growing, and we all know better about the people and growth. You know what
Okay.
I mean? So I'm very impressed with what I'm seeing, and
Okay.
of course, it to me it can only get bigger and better. I just when I was there, Kenya was building 28 studios for young people to invest their time and interest into reggae music instead of being on the road, doing the
Hmm.
wrong things. And I think that's a great way to go about it.
Okay. Nice one. Nice one. And also, do you plan on doing any collaborations with Ghanaian musicians? Should we look forward to
Listen,
something like that?
as soon as the opportunity arises, I definitely plan to do that, because I want to be a part of the cornerstone and the building process of this. I don't want to wait till everything big and blow up, then I
Mm,
try to jump on it. I want to be one of the early person to help set the stage, you know what I mean? Because your true legacy lies in those things.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Easy.
We can't wait. We can't wait for a collaboration.
Yeah, man. Ladies and gentlemen, Duane Stephenson on the line all the way from Jamaica. Naro.
Yes, sir. Greetings, King.
Big up yourself, my brother.
Yes, sir. Greetings, Fire. Wagwan.
But I'm there,
I give thanks. The Empress actually just took the questions I was going to ask the idol, but I'm going to reframe it. Besides Black Prophet, has I collaborated with any other African artists?
Well, we're looking into it right now. I have an opportunity right now to even link up with Stoneboy and do some work. But I would love to link up with, make my own judgment. Find one of the guys with budding musician
True.
and really collaborate with that new and different sound. Help take them to the world. And I mean, because Stoneboy is where he is, he's only getting bigger. So the truth is, I won't be doing him any favors, but I would like to record with a less known artist so that we can, come up with a whole new and different energy.
All right. The second question is looking at the evolution of reggae music now. I've seen artists, Jamaican artists now doing even some Afro beat and enough of dancehall. And I stick to your root as rook rock reggae artist. Are you pressured to do Afro beat or do a dancehall?
No, I'm not, I just think that, there's so many facets to our music. I was never a dancer artist. No one knew me as a dancer artist. I don't know myself as a dancer artist. I am not going to be doing a dancer song. What I will be doing is, of course, to fuse it with some African beats. Maybe not the one that will associate more quickly with dancehall, but slow it down a bit because Africa has a lot of different beats, a lot of different music, a lot of different sounds. So I just need to find one that's compatible with what I'm doing. And of course, merging it it's good for Jamaica, it's good for reggae, it's good for Africa. And that's good for me. You know what I mean? But I don't feel pressured because, every music has its season. And right now it seems as if everything that is coming out of Jamaica is dancehall, but that's not the case. That's not the case. And even here, dancehall is still what you call the little brother music, because once you go into the interior and to the real rural area into Jamaica, they still listen to mostly roots reggae music.
True. The last one is does the art still write for other artists ever since you became a commercial artist or non-commercial across the world?
Sorry, repeat?
Do you still write for other artists ever since busting to the international scene?
Yes, I've written for a lot of artists. I've done works for Jackie or Egyptian, Barry Salmon, which is one of my bucket listing, Luciano, Nesbet, and Etana, Taros. The list goes on with a lot of less known artists. Kumar, more of recent. So I do a lot of writing for different people. It's always been that way. Even when after the album came out and I started traveling, I still did a little bit. Alba Rosie is one person also that I did some work for. So I still keep writing for other people. Not as much as I used to, but I still do.
All right. The man still write for artists to sing.
Easy.
This is serious, man. Yes. It's serious. Now, let's talk about, Augustown, where you hail from. All of us know how aggressive the area, is like and all that. You understand me? And to come all the way from Augustown, and today we see him on international stage and all that. What exactly motivated you for you to choose this over gun and violence?
Well, it's just, I was always a person that look around and assess the situation. And the truth is, the Augustown that you speak of, that's not where I grew up. When I grew up, it wasn't like that. It was when I got to about 14 years old, and we saw a whole different vibe. Starting at that football field that I sang about, it was a match and everything went wild, and then the whole thing broke out like the Wild West.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, kids weren't even allowed to be in conversation with adults. You know what I mean? So we never saw that growing up. It's after that. The truth is, I think my generation was impacted the most from all of that thing, because a lot of the guys that I knew ended up getting involved in violence, and a lot of them, died early. Like right now, amongst my peers, it's like a few of us that are here are like real old men. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But that is not where we grew up. It wasn't until a lot of people went to foreign and got on Al Capone, as the song said. And everybody go on and start make them own money, because before that, people used to fight political battles.
Mm-hmm.
Then it became gang related, because everybody went abroad and do whatever they did and make a lot of money. But they didn't have any vision, because a lot of them, they were sent to United States and England by politicians that they did dirty dealings for. So they knew what they knew, and they didn't know anything different. So instead of building the community, they invested in tearing it down. And then I think since then, it's just been a rocky road for a lot of people that live there. A lot of people live at one in the community right now that has never been down to the line. People live in Hermitage that has never been to the river, and vice versa, which is unfortunate. We're still trying to, fix the situation there and to try to educate you, because ultimately education to me is the only way out of these situations, because an educated man will make an educated decision. But because, things are getting so rough, not only in the neighborhood, but in Jamaica by extension. And I mean, I was in New York last week, and nothing changed. It's basically the same thing that's going on here. People are getting crazy because of the disparity growing between the rich and the poor, the have and the have not, the boss and the employees. And those are contributing factors, along with, loose guns and drugs.
Definitely.
Easy.
Ladies and gentlemen, exactly 31 going into the R2 here on Asaase Radio.
Zing. Asaase Radio.
Yeah, man, and everything is all right in the place. We're having one-on-one with Duane Stephenson all the way from Jamaica, Kingston to be precise.
Easy.
Duane, I would like to ask you this. Which sound system did you first voice a dub plate for?
Stone Love Sound.
Easy.
Stone Love Sound, man.
Stone Love always get the best. I don't know why. Stone Love always.
We recorded Get Up in Stone Love from I was into ISIS. That's how long, because of course, Weepo is a trailblazer, and to him, it doesn't matter whether the song is popular or not. If it's a song that he thinks worthy of, busting the place or, play for people here, he's a man that will do that, man. That's the one thing. All the greats have this trait about them, and it's no different with him, But in terms of the album Augustown itself, I think the first song I did a dub for was Mighty Crown, the Augustown dub, and boy, I tell you,
yeah.
I think that is the thing that changed everything for me, because before that, the song was playing on like all the gospel stations in Florida and things right throughout the Caribbean. Augustown was playing on most of the gospel stations. And of course, after after that Mighty Crown World Clash, the next morning my phone been burning up till now.
Wow.
Easy.
So it means that coming to this album released in 2007 from August
Yeah.
Town, the first
Yeah.
sound system you did dub plate for was Mighty Crown on the song from
Mighty
August
Crown.
Town, and from that time till now, your phone has been ringing.
Yeah, man. Listen, those guys are trendsetters.
Yeah.
They really invest into a lot of young artists, and a lot of young artists got major recognition because of Mighty Crown. It
Yeah.
don't matter where them want come from or what them want look like or whatever, but the man in tune with roots music and dancehall too, because you realize that the man play, dancehall that will be played for years to come.
Mhm.
Remember, so the man must retire from World Clash in a Rasta.
Definitely.
You can imagine. Yeah, man. So, when I got the call, my brethren lecturer called me and said, yo, Mighty Crown, you look for your brethren. I said, Mighty Crown, look for me. But I went down, they had an office in Jamaica. They probably still have it.
Mhm.
And I went in at the thing. And the truth is, those guys actually taught me how to properly write a dub plate. It was like school. We did that dub plate in about 4 different versions. You know what I
Wow.
mean? And they told me what they want and thing. And trust me, when them man they come clash, when them say them armed and dangerous, they are.
Easy.
If you're driving and you broke a stoplight, them know. And them going to put it in the dub plate. And police going to look for it.
Wow. So writing dub plate is another serious aspect of the sound business. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, it is, man. It is. That's why I said the whole thing is intertwined,
Mhm.
Dub plate business is an intricate part of it, and it keeps you going. Man, it keeps you going. There's a lot of artists that were, forgotten by, I guess that people think that their time passed, and then a big clash come up, and a man play a dub and kill a next sound, and then you see the artist touring again.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So it's a major part of what we do. It's nothing to take as a second consideration.
Wow. Well, Lagazee Sound International is also set, and we'll be grateful to have such dub plate them, to kill sound same way, same style.
Zing. Asaase Radio.
Yeah, man. So coming from Junior Maestro all the way from Oslo, Norway, he said, this must be one of the top 3 interviews ever from a reggae artist. I love the intelligence about him. I was in the church with him when he was performing with Ken Ring in Oslo.
Yeah.
Saying,
Yeah, man. That was a wonderful show. Look, unfortunately, that was just a past two thing, and I wanted to do a little more because with Ken Ring, I got to do something different. So, I always try to bomb rush Ken Ring shows,
definitely.
Big up Ken Ring, rapper extraordinaire, man, they really, he was one of the trailblazers in Swedish hip hop, and he stood for the lower class. And because of that, he went to jail 28 times. But big up Ken Ring, Because
Definitely.
it's always no man can stand up for music, Rasta, But,
Definitely.
yeah, big up the virgin for me, And, thanks for the support and everything.
Yeah, man. And Junior Maestro is part of Lagazee Sound International. He is handling our part in Norway as well. You understand? So Lagazee Sound International is in Ghana and also in Norway. And Junior Maestro is responsible for Lagazee Sound International in Norway as well. You know what I mean? So anytime you see Lagazee, you see Junior Maestro, you see Benedict Jaffes, you see Bob Africa,
Easy.
We're changing, we're going to start calling it Lagazee International.
Yes, it's Lagazee Sound International doing. So we have to go get some dub plate now.
I'm going to tell you, Rasta.
Yeah, man. So from August Town to 2014, the album Journey from August Town, that is Dangerously Roots.
Yeah.
From 2007 to 2014, after that, no album from Duane Stephenson. What is happening, to the I career in terms of music release and all
At that point, sometimes you have to really assess what's going on and whatever. Unfortunately, I am not one of those people that just turn up and just sing a song. For me, it's a whole process.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was out there in the world. I was trying to, see what was going on. I think that for me, most of the times I put it an album when I think it's needed. You know what I mean? It's not so much that you're trying to run on, because you're trying to run on just to put out an album. I would love to know that my album can be somewhat of a collection for people, a collective, something for people to take and say, listen, I have the Duane Stephenson catalog and it means something, you know what I mean? And that is what I would love in the end. So it take a while for me and whatever. And plus, then I was doing a lot of things back then too. I was traveling the world, and I was doing so many things, But as I said, for me, it's always a process. Like, I have an album now that was finished before COVID, and because of COVID, we didn't even, put it out because I think it wasn't warranted. But no, we're getting ready to put that out, and on the dawn of that, there's an album that I'm finishing up right now with Donovan German and Penthouse. So now I have 2 albums just like that.
Wow.
Because one was before COVID as to what was leading up to COVID, and the other is during that time. And I think that people want to change on something not as heavy as what I'm used to doing, because ultimately I want to inspire and uplift people. Because if everything you're doing and nothing is uplifting, then to me it doesn't make any sense.
Definitely. So it means that as we're talking to Duane Stephenson now, you have 2 albums sitting in the studio unreleased yet.
Yes, that's what it means.
All right. So when exactly should the fans all over the world expect this from Duane?
Well, some of the songs off the first album, we're trying to remaster it right now. As soon as that's done, we're hoping that before the year ends, one will come out trying for November. And then next year, we'll probably push back the other one until like summer. But within a few months, you're going to have 2 Duane Stephenson albums, because I didn't do this album for them to be sitting on a shelf to give one time to stretch out or whatever. That wasn't the purpose. It's for now, for the vibe, to help bring people out of this 2.5-year slump that some people are still going through because of this COVID vibe and whatever. You know what I mean? So for the first time, we're used to long waiting. Now it's a short wait, but it's well deserved.
All right. I don't know if you can step in a bit and tell us a bit about this particular album that you're going to release in December. Do we have any features on it? The artist, how many tracks are we going to have on the album, and perhaps the album title?
Well, the album title was Exile to Jedites, the name of it. I was promoting before the COVID, and then we had to pull it. But it's Exile to Jedites. Of course, there's Luton on it, there's Sharita on it. There was a song with myself and, of course, Agent Sasko. But because that was put out just before the COVID, then we kind of have to revamp. So right now, as we speak, we're doing a new track with a surprise artist, so I can't exactly, come out and say who it is. But definitely it's 13 songs, you know what I mean? There was one song that we just released, we just started playing now, called Dready Lion. Just did the video about to get it out right now. And so the wheels are turning on it, man.
All right. So, Sayinam says, my all-time favorite artists on the globe. Big up yourself, Duane Stephenson. All right.
Easy.
So, everything good in the place. Duane, what do you make of artists who, because it's been in the news that a lot of Jamaican artists who sing a lot about Africa, Africa this, Africa that, anytime they are being booked to come to Africa, they charge exorbitantly. And people don't understand the main reason why. Example is recently Buju Banton show in Kenya. They had to fly him all over in a private jet from Jamaica to Kenya, and the money involved, I just don't know. So people are like,
a private jet. I don't believe that though. I don't understand how that will come about. I know Buju Banton has his traveling limitations. And because of his traveling limitations, then people might end up spending way more money because of where they have to route him to come to go to Kenya. But in terms of a private jet to, I don't even know if that is possible. I don't even think Bill Gates can afford a private jet from Jamaica.
Easy.
Exactly. Because listen, sometimes they're doing a show, and when you investigate artists, a lot of times people end up going to fraudulent people to try and get you instead of coming directly to the artist trying to get a deal. But most of the times, when you do those things, you get a raw deal because I'm here already, and I heard that I charging $70,000 to come to Europe. That's what I heard, but nobody told me that. You understand? And to me, that is absolutely crazy. It is beyond crazy that, you know, such kind of information could get out there in the ear because somebody is always trying to block somebody else or craziness. You know what I mean? So sometimes this information that comes through the grapevine is not correct. I know there have been issues where people saying that, but the truth is, nowadays, I know a lot of artists that are friends with me that made themselves available to come there and come to for a much reduced rate to come there. I know definitely that I have done that to perform in Kenya. You know what I mean? Because I can't hear say I get in a show in Kenya and because I can't afford money, I can't come. That don't make any sense. I just need to know that the band getting paid. They, you know, people getting there, they're going to be comfortable when they get here and whatever. You understand what I mean? And then, of course, you know, you have to just come through because it's one of them things. You know, so that private jet thing straight into Africa, that is, I don't believe that.
all right.
Zing. Asaase Radio.
A lot of people talk all sorts of crap.
Saying 45 going into the R2.
Easy.
Exactly 3 p.m. We'll be out of here. Trust me. We're live on 99.5 in Accra. We're live on 98.5 in Kumasi, 100.3 in Cape Coast, and 99.7 in the northern region.
Easy.
And big respect to all the areas listening to us right now on Asaase Radio.
Zing. Asaase Radio.
And we're having one-on-one with Duane Stephenson. In wrapping up, King Kiprich says, greetings, I'm King Kiprich from Ghana, Ashaiman. I love Duane Stephenson's songs and the video to the Lord, More Fire.
Easy.
All right. So it means that the fan base of Duane Stephenson is big in Ghana. You know what I mean? So, you know, Mr. Jando, what you say? What you say?
Easy.
Programs Director, Mr. Jando.
Zing. Asaase Radio.
Duane, are you ready? Because Ghana is ready for you. Are you ready?
Very long time, brother. Long time I ready, you know. It's many times, as I say, you know, I try to come through there many times, and you know, for every time that they come through, it seemed to be like the producer link up, not serious about doing, you know, proper business and getting us there. Because as I say, you have to put certain things in place. Because when I come, I'm not coming alone, and you know, when you're musicians depending on you to do certain things, you have to just do it. It's not like we have a choice, you know, because we don't play piano and key and guitar for ourselves and them kind of a vibe. You know, so no, we in talks with the right people to come through and finally do a great concert. So something that the people can love and appreciate. You know, something that the people can truly afford.
All right. Duane, before I leave you on the line, which I know that in November, your album will come out and we'll be here on standby so that all the information, you can pass it on to us so that we can tell the world.
You know, see how the original man.
So that we can pass it on to the world and show them that, yo, listen, the album will be ready very, very soon and all that. Before I leave you finally, your word of advice to, you know, the upcoming artists, I'm much concerned about the young artists coming up in terms of their lyrics and style. Sometimes it's a bit, I don't want to say it, but I would like you to advise us.
A lot of it is a lot of aggression and derogatory things to about and to women. Let me tell you this. Firstly, note that Afrobeat music is now possibly the number one music in the world. The reason for that is because it's all about enjoying yourself and, of course, bigging up the women. And that is a recipe for long life, and longevity in the music business. Don't be pressured as a young artist to come and sing gun lyrics and whatever, because remember, music is not just, you're not doing music just for your black, because when you go on radio, you don't know where it's going to end up. You understand? And people are more willing to play a nice song about digging up other people, the girls, and a good vibe and enjoy and whatever. Not saying that you're going to water down your content, but there's always a way of saying stuff and doing stuff for it to be palatable, because aggression breeds aggression. You understand? So, young artists, when you come in this music business, the first thing you know to do is the best person to turn up with at the table is yourself, your own experiences, your own mind, and know that you're going to be taking responsibility for everything that you sing, because truth is, that's the only original thing you're going to turn up with, because everything is almost done. But when you come with your vibe, your energy, and your own experiences, nothing will substitute that.
All right. A man says, Lagazee, how can you interview Duane Stephenson without you letting him sing from Augustown? All right. So before I leave you, finally, this one is the favorite of the people of Ghana. So if you can bless us with that, we'll be very, very happy.
Easy.
Though I never lived like he wanted, but I was mindful of what he taught me. So now I beg and plead, I'm on my bended knees, 'cause Father, you rescued me, and I've got the scars to show. I barely made it along life's road. Oh, when my life got dark, that was the only spark. He was the light at the end of the road. Na 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 na. Hey. Yes, sir.
Duane, I would like to say thank you so much for your time and space and everything. And trust me, we're family. So anything you need, anything you want, please let me know. As always.
Yeah, my brother. You keep the link when you don't know Lagazee, the original.
Definitely. Manners and respect, Duane.
Easy.
Bless.